Hey everybody, welcome to the Falcons Corner. Voice of the Falcons, Mike Rickard, here with Sports Information Director and my co-host, Chris Sawyer. Chris, welcome to another show.
Hey Mike, it's great. We got to let's start off first though. Getting to Thanksgiving, be thankful for all the viewers out there that have watched. Every week we get more and more viewers, and it's just been great.
It's only going to be a matter of time before we are recognized outside of the college community. I could just imagine being at Target or going shopping or something over the Christmas holiday and say, why aren't you on the purchase?
Well, I'm worried about when we go to Kansas. Are we going to be able to walk by ourselves, at the hotel without people recognizing us?
I've been practicing my autograph. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Talking about viewership, I know we're getting really great turnout. Two people I can't get to watch the show. My two kids. They are big into sports. Big Lackawanna Falcon athletics, sports supporters. Yeah. Can't get them to watch a show. You think they'd want to watch their dad on TV?
I know, it's like I need to get my parents to watch it more than 2 minutes. I mean, watch us all. It's great. We have great segments on here. But no, again, seriously though, thank you everybody. Mike, we've been enjoying doing this with Mike, it's exciting again to be back here up at the Perch.
Back home.
Yep, back home.
We're filming on a Monday, so we are 10 days from kickoff from the national championship. So that's pretty exciting stuff.
And we're putting together a big show for next week before the national championship.
Yep, and we're not going to talk too much. Like I said, we're not going to really talk football. We're going to save that all for next week. So if you guys are interested in National Junior College Athletic Association, National Championship football, make sure to catch that sometime next week when we air that. But something's still going on here, right?
We got a couple things going on. Yep. We had a nice little week here at Lackawanna. 3 big victories for us. We had women's basketball was home for the first time.
It was nice, like I said, to get some home cooking finally, and we had Kiana Price.
We did. I tell you what, she kind of came out of the gate slow. It was a tough, scrappy game. That third quarter, I don't know what Coach Whittington said to her at halftime. She came out and scored. I have it right here because I wanted to make sure we got it. She had scored 17 of the total 23 third quarter points for the Lady Falcons.
She was dominant.
She took control
and she even stepped outside a little bit. I think she hit a 3 or 2. Which when you're seeing your center, when your power forward step outside and expand that defense a little bit, so great job by Kiana.
Yeah, and another thing too on the boards. I mean, it did get scrappy a lot, but we were on the boards, had some second chance shots, but we were limiting them. To just having first chance. That was it.
They were one and done. No second shot opportunities. So I'm sure boxing out and rebounding, all those fundamentals are a focal point in Lady Falcon basketball practice.
That moves them to 4-1 on the season, 2-0 in Region 10, and they've got another game coming up tomorrow. We're taping Monday at County College of Morris. 5 o'clock tip-off time. Last game before the holidays. So look, they're back on the road again.
Of course, it's unfortunate that they've had some games canceled. Won't get them out here as much as we'd like. I know Coach Whittington is trying to schedule some more action for those girls, but it was nice to get them home. We'll see them home again eventually. It won't be until after break, but we'll get them here at the Union.
And actually, we don't have it yet, but the rankings should be coming out pretty soon. They were number 8 last week, so we'll see.
So at least we're holding still. So number 8 is still, we're in the top 10, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all. Wrestling. Sorry, Mike. Wrestling actually had the Scotty Wood duels, and they took on. They had 4 actual matches against different schools there, and 2 of them were
and quality opponents.
Absolutely, 2 of them were D3. NCAA did D3. It was Gettysburg College and Messiah College. We did fall to them. But we bounced back in the next 2. We beat Kent State, I'll say it, Tuscarawas, and also Temple University doesn't have a team, but they have a club, so we did beat them as well. But one of the things, again, All-American Nate White, again, 4-0 on the dominant. I think we had 4 guys that were 4-0 or undefeated in those matches. So again, great job again by Coach Fox, and these guys are rolling right now.
And I can't wait to get them at home because I really want to see what they have. And like I said, credit to Coach Fox, and like I said, when they're practicing, they're wrestling each other. So the fact that they have that depth where they could, wrestle each other at certain weights and keep improving and keep getting better, because it's got to be tough. We talked about women just playing once a week, for the first couple of weeks, but wrestling wise, I know they're going. This week they have a match, Thaddeus Stevens, I think, but they're not out there in live action all the time. So the fact that they were able to build that depth into that program already after just a couple of years, where their wrestlers can really grow and expand on their skill.
And it was impressive. I forgot to mention, Kent State actually is a 4-year school. They're in the USCAA. So again, we're freshmen and sophomores. And we beat them pretty good. It was 41-15. It was points. So yeah, excited for them. They're 5-6, but the way they qualify individually, we're really moving along.
Right. Yep. And then, like I said, I know last week on the show we mentioned eSports, that they had a big match, with playoff implications on the line. How do we make out?
We made out very well. We started out. We played Central Methodist. You talk about big matches at different, but this was the biggest Rocket League match for esports. Went down 1-0 real early. They just bounced back. Took the next 3 to go 3-1, take the series, and now they earned their first ever playoff berth in the ECAC,
which is fantastic. And it just, with them continuing on the long line of Lackawanna Falcon athletic, tradition, history of postseason berth. Football playing for national championship. Baseball in the World Series last year. Women finishing in the Final Four in the national tournament last year, and now esports. It's just another banner that we could hang up here at the Student Union.
Absolutely, and that would be great to have an esports banner in here. And one thing Lackawanna I've noticed, when they do it right, and they don't just put it sport in just to do it. They do it. They want to compete. They want to win. And actually, we're going to have a special guest from esports today,
which I think our athlete of the week too, right? Which would be. I'm very curious to hear what his player screen name is.
Yeah, me too.
They're very unique names. Right. I see them walking around with them on the back of their jerseys around campus and stuff too. So we wanted to hear what's going on there. And we actually have some more guests coming up too. We're going to talk with our athletic training staff, so it'll be get a really good insight on what's going on in that athletic training room, especially as football's winding down and wrestling, basketball is really starting to wind up. So
you know what I forgot to mention with women's basketball, is the holidays and people get hungry. One of the things they're doing is a spaghetti dinner fundraiser December 9th.
And not only that, no one likes to cook. No, honestly, no one likes to cook.
And the great thing is it's takeout, so you order it ahead of time. You can take it home.
And what date is that, Chris? Because I know my wife watches the show every once in a while, and she struggles sometimes with the whole dinner preparation, right? She knows that, though, but it's okay. But, this could be something that we could plan in advance. The Rickards could be full, have a nice, delicious meal cooked by our culinary students and, our restaurant here on campus. What is the date?
Sure, the date's December 9th. It's from 4 to 6. And you're right, it's at 409 Adams, which is run by our culinary students. It's $10, so you can purchase. Look on social media. I hope you guys always check out our social media, but we have all the information, how you can contact Coach Whittington as well. And they're traveling down to North Carolina for a tournament,
right?
And, trying to raise some money for that tournament. So it's a great cause around the holidays. As you said, you don't want to go home and cook that night. You can just pick it up. You can pick it up yourself and take it all.
Well, let's not get carried away, because you know what happens when you pick it up yourself, you're paying for it too. So we're going to have to work something out with that. So that's a discussion we could have at a different time. But we're going to be back with you in a few moments with our special guest and our athlete of the week. So make sure you stay tuned. Take flight, everybody. We are back here on the Falcons Corner with our athlete of the week, Keenan Lewis. Keenan, welcome to the Perch. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
First question I have for you. What is your screen player name?
My screen name is Fezbot.
Fezbot. Why Fezbot? Where does that come from?
So it was just one day when I actually decided to buy Rocket League. I was sitting with my friends and it said I needed like a name for myself, and we were watching that 70s show, and one of them is Fez.
Okay. So
I just was mentioned that Fez is kind of like he acts like a robot in some sort, and I just put in Fezbot, and it just stuck.
Sounds good. That's a good reason to get that. Chris, what you got?
That's interesting. I mean, you never know what's going on behind these names. You talk about when you bought Rocket League. Did you ever think, buying that game that day, that here you are sitting on the Perch, athlete of the week, playing Rocket League in college?
Absolutely not. I had no idea that it would take me here, but I'm really glad it did.
And what really got you interested in that game? I know we have a couple different teams, but talk about the reason why Rocket League is something that you wanted to do here at Lackawanna.
Well, I liked Rocket League because it was a game that you can progress yourself on. You can just naturally make your skills a lot better and just see your progression, and it just really spoke to me in a way. And I really like the teamwork that it can bring too.
Take us back to last week, chance at the playoffs, right? Probably one of your biggest matches of the season, if not the history of Lackawanna College esports. What was the atmosphere like, in the room while that match was going on?
Tense.
Yeah,
it was tense. It's kind of like I played more physical sports as well, and it was just kind of like the same mindset, except for you just playing a game. But it was very tense. Everyone's kind of communicating and working through. But I'm glad that we pulled away with the win.
And what do you think a playoff berth will do for our program? What do you think that could lead to?
It can bring awareness. Usually when a team gets up and steps up to the plate, it'll bring other awareness from other teams, like they're really good, we need to practice in order to beat them. So
I'm old school. I'm an old guy. Yeah. My go-to game on the Sega Genesis was NBA Jams. What are the odds that we could get a Sega Genesis console in here and go a little NBA Jams? I just let you know I'm a Utah Jazz, not a fan, but NBA Jams. Karl Malone, John Stockton,
right.
Those two guys teamed up on that game, unbeatable. What do you think?
I don't know. We'd have to probably talk to Teddy about that.
we can work on something like that. He's got connections.
That's
we can
right.
work on something like that.
Let's talk about your stats real quick. I mean, Mike and I are getting better at Rocket League, so we might have to go challenge him. But Keenan's had a great season. 19 goals, 7 assists. One thing that stuck out to me too, you had a 46% shot percentage. So when you watch that game, It really is just like soccer, keeping the stats, and I think also you had 17 saves and 41 total shots on the season. How do you get so good at this game? I mean, is it you see we on the perch, you see the athletes in here practicing. Talk about how you guys go through your routine practice and get ready for each game.
There's like a lot of ways that you can do it. Like on the computer, there's many people that can make up like workshops, they're called. It's like little things to help you on your shooting or your passing or dribbling with the ball or dribbling in the air. There's like plentiful of workshop items that you can use throughout all of your routines, but the main thing I think we focus on is always chemistry. Like if I always have my two teammates with me, it's just really good practice to continue that gameplay.
Talk about your teammates for a second too. Who else is on that squad with you?
Their screen names are Domasaur and Chasers, and they are phenomenal teammates. I love them both.
Good, awesome.
And Domasaur played pretty well this last game. I remember watching the match.
He had just as many goals as I did.
Yeah, which is awesome. Chris, eSports playoff time. Yeah. That's what we love to hear. We love to see postseason action at Lackawanna College. Fezbot, thanks for coming out to the show.
Anytime. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll be back in a moment with more Falcons Corner. Take flight. We are back again on Falcons Corner. Chris, Keenan, well-spoken kid.
And I love the background of his name. So you got to find it out.
Fantastic, awesome. We're going to leave the perch for a second. Again, taking the show on the road, facing adversity, but we're going to take it down to the athletic training room. I know Sam and Sarah are in there waiting for us, and they're going to show us all the great things they do to keep our players on the field and on the court.
Yeah, excited to go down there.
We'll see you in a couple moments in the athletic training room. Welcome back to Falcons Corner. Voice of the Falcons, Mike Rickard, here with my co-host, SID Chris Sawyer. Chris, we have two special guests today. We got Sam and Sarah, perhaps the two most important people on the athletic staff.
I'd have to say so. They already got a lot of people walking in here, and they're trying to interrupt our shots.
A little bit, too. Everyone wants to be on the views. It's all about the views. Sam.
Yes.
I heard from a good source that you were probably the best catcher in the history of Lackawanna College softball history. What do you have to say about that?
I know that came from Mr. Paparelli.
It has.
I'm never going to live that down. Maybe not the best, but I was okay.
Did your love for sports and softball help lead you into a career of athletic training?
Yes, I would say I was like a training room rat. We have a couple of them that rummage around here. When you say, Sarah? Yes.
And in case our viewers didn't know, Sam and Sarah are athletic trainers here at the college. So, like I said, they are by far the most important staff we have on here, keeping our guys healthy. What is one of the most frequent injuries you guys see? Not just football-wise, but let's just talk, sports in general. One of the most frequent injuries you're treating in here.
Frequent, I would say they're mainly chronic overuse injuries that we see. So a lot of shoulders, we see a lot of knees and ankles.
Low backs.
And low backs. Those are the typical.
So I would have to guess probably like our busiest time would be, the fall when we have, soccer, men's and women's, football, of course, being what it is with the amount of guys, and even we could throw in maybe even baseball during their fall season. And then of course, basketball, they're in their, preseason stuff too. So talk about a little bit how the fall has gone in the athletic training room here.
Okay, so the fall for us is extremely busy because we have all sports going at the same time. So the practice schedules, treatments, game preparation, practice preparation. It's just they're long days, but I think it's worth it. They're just long days. They're busy for us.
I'm sure when you say it's worth it, it's probably great, even if someone had maybe a pre-existing injury or are coming back from an injury, then you see them succeed on the field like a week or two later. So I'm sure that's great gratification, for you ladies when you see that.
That's why we do our job, because it's kind of the coolest thing. I think Sarah would agree, being able to take a kid who basically couldn't walk. We'll say an ankle. Ankles are common. So you take a kid, we'll call it a grade 3 ankle sprain, on crutches, swollen, can't do anything. And then to get him back within a quick amount of time or a short amount of time, so say 2 weeks or whatever, and see them function back to normal prior to that is kind of great. And to be honest, the best thing about it is not only seeing them being able to get back into play, sometimes it's like they're very appreciative. The athletes at this school are super, super appreciative of the care that they get.
Right.
And they make sure they let us know. So it kind of makes it makes it worth also coming in, even though like you may not have the best days all the time, but you know, knowing that they're super appreciative and it's just a simple thanks, or like, I can simply do this, Sarah, I can do this again, Sam. It's like, it makes everything work with it.
And I know as we were getting ready to film, we've had some guys trying to come in and get their stuff in, and you mentioned you're not signed up. So what are like the systems you have to take care of, say, perhaps like 130 athletes on a given day?
So we have a new system. We kind of are working like a PT clinic, I would say. You have to make an appointment in order to come in. So we've recently just started that this year. It's actually worked really well, because if this was practiced, if we were in taping time right now, it used to be this room would be filled with like 30 kids.
And I've seen that
and
before,
it'd be absolute chaos. I mean, line out the door, plus what was in here. I mean, you're just going to one kid after another, and it was really hard for us. But now, as you can see, the room is kind of
it's nice.
bare.
We could do this.
And it also is really good for the athletes in terms of their care. So they're getting now hands-on, one-on-one treatments with us, instead of us popping from table to table or taping or whatever. It's more, they get that full attention, and it's kind of like you're in a PT setting. It just makes it more beneficial for them. They get a lot more out of it. We get a lot more out of the treatments for them, because we can focus more on one athlete instead of 10.
Right, makes sense. Chris, you have anything for them?
We've been talking football. It's, national championships coming up. You're talking about coordinating with all the athletics that are going on. We've got women's basketball and wrestling still going to football. What is the preparation like for you guys getting ready to have to go out to Kansas, take all the guys out there, get them ready? Plus, we still have stuff going on here. So talk a little bit about the process.
So we just kind of schedule as best as we can. We do have a third staff member as well, so he'll be here with the basketball and wrestling to take care of them. For us, preparation, it's really just trying to get all of our stuff, halfway across.
And get on the bus.
How much do you love those road trips?
They're not bad.
Which road trips are you talking about?
Well, let's see. So far, you've been to Utah.
Yes.
Right? You're going to Kansas.
Yes.
Right? Didn't get the chance to go to Myrtle Beach for football this year.
No.
Right?
That was a bus
canceled.
trip, so we're okay with that.
You're okay with that. So, I mean, you've been, luckily, I think all over the country, with our athletics, because I know you used to travel for baseball, so a little bit too. Yeah.
That was interesting. I think that's one of the perks of this job too. I mean, I wouldn't visit half of the states in this country if it wasn't for us playing there.
Right.
I mean, it's crazy, and then to think about it is to have the luxury, like our sports teams have the luxury of being able to go out to the Midwest and compete, or just the level of athleticism, I would say, is incredible. So like and it gives you that opportunity.
Right.
So you get to see like a high level of play. You get to travel the country. You get to go to a national championship game. I mean, I don't think there's anything better than that. It's kind of, it's kind of amazing.
Yeah. We thank you for your time. We know you're busy, but we look forward to seeing you out in Kansas, taking care of the fellas. Thank you for everything I do. I'm not going to speak for all the athletes, but I'm sure their sentiment is the same, that you do a great job of getting them game ready.
Yes,
absolutely.
We appreciate it.
We'll be right back on the Falcons Corner. A big thank you to Sam and Sarah. Take flight. Hey everybody, welcome back. Chris, that's a wrap on another exciting edition of Falcons Corner.
It is. I'm just impressed at the way our production level has gone up.
It's fantastic.
Look at these microphones.
These fancy microphones. You think the voice of the Falcons when he's doing basketball games here can't get one of these. We're going to have to work that into it. I'm still waiting for my jacket though, so that's a whole different story. But we want to wish everyone that's watching a happy Thanksgiving, especially to probably our two biggest viewers. I forgot to mention earlier, like my parents. I think they've watched every episode like 5 or 6 times.
That's great.
I think it's the only way they get to spend some time with me is by watching me on TV. So
I know what you'll be doing at Thanksgiving, putting it on the big screen, right?
I think so. I think so. But we want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Make sure to tune in for our special National Junior College Athletic Association Football National Championship Preview Show. Not easy to say. I'm exhausted taking the rest of the day off after I said that. But be sure to catch that next week. But leaving the perch one more time. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Make sure take flight.